All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us at this meeting of the Sonoma County Junior College District Board of Trustees. I'm calling the meeting to order. Thanks for everyone on the attending the meeting in person. It looks like an especially robust attendance today. So what a great way to send out the semester. And for those joining us online as well, thank you. We'll begin as we always do with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we gather at Santa Rosa Junior College on the territorial traditional land of the Pomo people in Santa Rosa and the Coast Miwok people in Petaluma, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it throughout the generations. This is a reminder that public comment will be allowed at the appropriate times. If you wish to make a public comment here in person, there are yellow public comment cards in the back of the room. Please fill it out and bring it up to the front desk to Zara or Kaylani. For those on Zoom, please wait to raise your hand until I invite you to do so. That takes us to file item B1, announcement of reportable actions in closed session. There is one reportable item. The board took action to terminate the employment of a classified employee by unanimous vote. Next, item B2, approval of the open session agenda. Do I have a motion and a second from the board?
Motion to approve the open session agenda.
Second.
All right, any board member comments or public comments? Seeing none, we'll go to our student trustee for the advisory vote. Student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstention? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Next, we are on to item B3, approval of the regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the regular meeting minutes from the last regular meeting?
Motion. Second.
Any board member comments or public comments? Seeing none, student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Next, item B4, approval of special meeting minutes. We have the approval of the meeting minutes from our last special meeting. Do I have a motion and a second on those minutes?
Motion. Second.
Any board member comments or public comments? Seeing none, student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The minutes are approved. Next, we are on item B5, which is a board presentation about the forensics program from Professor Josh Hamzahi and students.
All right, yeah, we get some applause. Thank you. So thank you. All right, well, the President Ezra Shaban, a board of trustees, Dr. Garcia, and members of the community here and via Zoom, thank you so much for having us. What we'll be doing today is giving you a little bit of an overview of what forensics is, what have we done this year, some sample student presentations, as well as what's coming up for us. And so the first question we get oftentimes is, what the heck is forensics? Forensics, CSI stole our branding, but it basically means the art of seeking truth. You do that with dead bodies, you do that with speeches, performances, debate. We're here to figure out what truth is and to the individual speakers that are kind of communicating that truth as well. And in a time with whose truth is being spoken, why that matters, and what are the consequences being more relevant than probably ever, I think a program like this here at our institution being extremely successful, taught what sex means in just a second, is extremely vital. And so what we'll do today, let's talk a little bit about students finding their voice through research, writing, and performance amongst a community that allows them to have that voice shine. Specifically, I'll give you one example before we go into some of the details. On Friday, we had our every semester intramural speech, debate, and performance tournament here on campus. We had 150 students participating of 47 declared majors and emphases. So we're a great nexus of everything this school does, from biochem folks, textiles, communication, theater, you name it, they're performing and have a voice to use. And so what we'll be doing in this presentation, I'll give you a little bit of an overview of our season from 2024-25. We'll have 3 sample student presentations, really short ones, and then telling you a little bit about what's coming up for us. So first off, how do you determine what is exactly successful? Yeah, competition is great. Trophies are great, but I think a lot of it comes down to outcomes. The first one in the 2.5 years since I was hired here, we've been able to grow the program from 0 to 44 enrolled people in about 2.5 years. As you can see, many of them are kind of surrounding us right here. Second, we couldn't do this without support. The SRJC Foundation, our assistant coach, Karen Cornwell, who's somewhere around here, as well as many other supporters who've helped us and helped students find their voice within the activity. Second, as far as success over the season, while this is in your 2 to 3 page handout we provided for y'all, some quick overview. We were national champions in our division at Community College Nationals. We were also, thank you. We were also state and national champions in 7 of the different 11 events we do. So from storytelling, poetry, dramatic interpretation, after dinner speaking, which is funny persuasion, communication analysis, which is the more research oriented. So we're doing it all. We're both like thinking of, we're the funniest and the saddest team in the country. Third, this year we've had over 42 students compete at travel tournaments, and getting that experience to travel to different campuses and share their messages with very different audiences just sets them up for no matter what field they're going into. And lastly, as far as campus and community events, in addition to our showcases and intramural tournaments every semester for the SRJC community, we also host a spring high school tournament where this year we brought over 600 NorCal high school students to our campus to see what it's like firsthand. Not only what the program is like, but the beautiful campus around us. So second, we'll have a little short demonstration of a few students presenting their award-winning speeches. I'll list them off for you one at a time, and they'll come up one at a time, and we can give them a round of applause as they are complete. And so first off, you'll have Salvatore Barone doing his national championship winning poetry interpretation. He was also the top speaker in the entire country out of every single community college this year. So that comes from SRJC. Second, we'll have Annabelle Thatcher, who will be presenting her humorous persuasion on addressing the stigma of divorce. And she was both a state and national finalist. So yeah, good job, Annabelle. And then third, we'll show Jenna Williams and only her introduction to the academic argument of her speech for prose interpretation, which is storytelling. And she was a national champion at this as well. And so first up, let's get Salvatore Barone.
I'll hold. My son, Salvatore, is struggling. He was taken off his meds when transferred. I'm worried. He hasn't called home in almost a week because it is torture. The mind, the body, the soul, it destroys. Yet isolation is as widely used as ever. And this is what it feels like. I spent 6 months in solitary confinement at Pontiac, Illinois maximum security prison. I was only given 5 hours of yard time in total and denied medical attention on several occasions. The decline in my mental health, along with the lingering effects from the constant trauma, mirror what psychiatrist Dr. Stuart Grassian coined security housing unit syndrome, a diagnosis with an array of symptoms that is found in prisoners who experience long-term isolation. If we know the harmful effects, and we know that it doesn't work, then the point isn't rehabilitation. The point is to suffer.
So to solve the awkwardness of divorce, I've been working on a career as an anti-officiant. We have a beautiful ceremony here in the Student Activity Center where both parties say their unvows and I don'ts. You may now file a restraining order. First, it's important to remember that divorce is not shameful. And when we break the stigma, we can get people the help that they need. The Financial Freedom Project provides support for women who are struggling financially or legally after a divorce. We can also help keep no-fault divorce legal by signing National Organization of Women petitions. Now is their acronym. Second, continuously communicate to your children what is happening. It can be a very confusing time for them. Remind them that it is not their fault, even if it is. A few years ago, me and my parents finally talked about their divorce, and as painful as it was, I see both of them now, and I am so grateful they are happier. Thank you.
Yeah.
Early one morning, Brer Fox was up and moving around. He had a glint in his eye, so you know he was up to no good. The folktale of Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby stems from West African storytelling to my home in the Caribbean, to Louisiana, through slavery. Brer, meaning brother, signifies kinship, and scholars suggest in his American incarnation, Brer Rabbit represents the enslaved Africans who used their wits against the adversity of their white slave owners. And today, that weight remains the same. In boardrooms, in classrooms, in laws, the struggle to exist freely continues. The executive order on DEI, meant to silence diversity, echoes the same forces that once sought to erase entire cultures. Stories like Brer Rabbit survive because they teach something deeper than survival. They teach strategy. And today, yet again, the story continues. Thank you.
So to wrap this up, here's some of our amazing students. We have another 1,000 on the team, hopefully, as well, too. And they all have their own individual speeches as well. We've gotten over 120 speeches up this year. Some of the things coming up for us in the fall, we host an intercollegiate tournament. We bring 25 to 35 schools from across the country here to do their own speeches and kind of see what our campus is like. We have untapped potential for recruitment, whether it's dual enrollment. A lot of high schools around here don't have this specific programming, and so we get several high schoolers actually on our team as well. And then coming up for us, we're hopefully going to create a summer forensics institute, so basically a camp over the summer, and we'll talk about that over the next year or so. And lastly, if you want to join us on Thursday, we have a kickball game against the Oak Leaf. This is the competition we must win, Oak Leafers. But other than that, thanks so much for having us. Thanks for the students for being here. Thanks, Karen. And thank you very much, Board of Trustees.
Oh, thank you, Professor Hamzahi and the forensics team for joining us. And congratulations on all the accolades. Imagine where you'll be in another 2.5 years. Yeah, built this up very quickly. Next up, we are on to item B6, which is the installation of our 2025-2026 student trustee, Kaya Clark. If I could have the microphone brought up here and have Kaya come up. I will administer the oath. Our new student trustee will take office starting June 1st. So we're not forcing Trustee Spinozzi off the dais. He's here as a voting member for the rest of the meeting, but we are gonna swear you in. All right, please repeat after me. I, Kaya Clark, do solemnly affirm
I, Kaya Clark, do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the state of California
and the state of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations on your election. We look forward to serving with you for the next year. Let's give our new student trustee a round. All right, we are on to item B7, our Employee of the Month for May 2025. Carol Ann Dolinsek and Chief Robert Brownlee will be presenting. Go ahead, Chief.
Good afternoon, President Chabon, Board of Trustees, Dr. Garcia, and members of our community. It is my honor and privilege to be here this afternoon to recognize our May 2025 Employee of the Month, Community Service Officer, Carol Ann Dolinsek. Carol Ann has been part of our police department since 1999. And in that time, she has not only become a keystone for the department, but a true embodiment of what this college stands for: dedication, community, and service. Whether she's assisting a student with directions, mentoring a colleague, or managing the complexities of a multi-campus parking permit repair project, Carol Ann approaches every task with professionalism, a steady presence, and an unwavering sense of responsibility. Her calm demeanor and sound instincts are well known within the department. One such example occurred this past fall when Carol Ann was on patrol at our Roseland campus. She noticed smoke from a small fire along the western edge of the property. Her quick action, responding immediately and notifying dispatch, helped contain the fire before it could spread, protecting not only our campus, but also the surrounding neighborhood. She even helped coordinate a bucket brigade before the fire department arrived. Her attentiveness and courage made all the difference. This is just one example of her commitment to keeping our community safe. Carol Ann's impact extends far beyond emergency response. When we took on that complex parking permit repair project last week, it was Carol Ann who made sure things stayed on track, organizing details, holding vendors accountable, and making sure it got all done right. She always fosters a supportive environment within the department, always willing to share her knowledge and experience, whether helping a new employee get their footing or collaborating with early morning custodial crews to ensure campus safety. Carol Ann leads with kindness, humility, and patience. Her roots in our community run deep. Having grown up in Sebastopol and attended the SRJC as a student herself, she holds associate degrees in child development and general education and has pursued continuing education in everything from EMT training to swift water rescue. Carol Ann brings a rare blend of expertise, empathy, and reliability to every shift. As Sergeant Brandon Fleetwood, right back there, said, she's the glue that holds things together when the pressure is on, and I couldn't agree more. Outside of work, Carol Ann enjoys time with her husband, Scott, who is present, her family, who is also present, including her beloved granddaughter in Alaska, who's not present, and relaxing at their cabin in the Sierras. She's a gardener, a historian, and a quiet hero who never seeks the spotlight, which makes this recognition all more meaningful. Carol Ann, on behalf of the entire police department, the SRJC community, thank you. We are incredibly grateful for everything you've given to the SRJC over the years, for your heart, your expertise, and your steady presence. You've made this college a better, safer, and kinder place. Congratulations. You are presented with the Employee of the Month, a plaque, a gift certificate for 2 tickets to any theater arts production, a gift certificate to the Culinary Cafe, and on behalf of the department, a gift certificate to Salt and Stone. We hope you enjoy a good meal. Thank you.
Public speaking is not one of my strong points, but I am very humbled by all the kind words and the recognition from my JC family. You all belong up here. The years working out in the field have blessed me with so many wonderful people and animals too. Names I forget, you I do not. It takes a village to run the JC day to day, and I'm glad to be part of that rain or shine, even with the skunks and the raccoons. My family has walked these grounds, and I am grateful for all their love and support. And I couldn't have done it without my husband, Scott, over the last 3 decades, and his love and support, and all of our shared hard work. Simply thank you all.
Congratulations, Carol Ann, on very well-deserved recognition, and thank you for your service to the district. And as I always say, the part of the award is you don't have to stick around for the full board meeting. So I appreciate you being here. Next, we will move to item B8, public comments. I have 2 comment cards currently. As a reminder, for public comment, each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. Please state your name for the record and any affiliation. We'll start with Jocelyn Wilson.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Jocelyn. I'm a psychology student here in Santa Rosa Junior College. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I'm here to discuss an issue that affects every student on this campus, how we can better communicate essential resources and support services to help us feel safe, informed, and empowered. The current communication methods are fragmented and do not effectively reach students. Every year, new students step on this campus facing various challenges, from navigating financial aid, understanding disability resources, finding reliable childcare, finding job opportunities, and even assessing free food programs. Recently, I conducted a survey to gather insight directly from our student body. 31 students took the time to write detailed, informative responses regarding what they need to feel valued by SRJC. While I do not have time to share every comment, it is important to note that many students voiced a need for more advocacy support when dealing with disputes or complaints. Students expressed feeling intimidated or uncertain about how to speak up when facing issues with instructors and staff. These voices deserve to be heard. One student said, "I feel like everything is somewhere on SRJC website, but very hard to search and find." Another noted there should be a newsletter with updates about what is happening or events so that it's all in one area. And one student suggested more frequent and informed communication is in order. Another emphasized the bare facts newsletter arrives too late for me to even plan. SRJC offers essential programs, but not all students are aware of them or how to access them. According to the survey, 74% had used basic needs, free food kiosk, 71% the tutorial center, 61% student health services, 58% the STEM Success Center, 32% using Our House intercultural centers, 52% are in Mesa or Avanzando, 48 are in DRD, 26 in Hope, and 23 in EOPS. While these resources do exist, they are underutilized. Part of the problem that we experience at SRJC students is the lack of transparency and communication regarding program availability in addition to them being scattered across different offices, websites, and platforms, making them challenging to locate and access effectively. This is especially plaguing for first-year students who need them the most. With the new federal administration, it is more critical ever that SRJC improves the communication with students. For instance, students shouldn't be learning about potential ICE incidents, challenge to federal funding or disability resources, and shifts of financial aid policy from outside sources. Again, we need clear centralized communication strategy that ensures students are informed promptly and directly by SRJC administration. According to the survey, 81% of responses say they do not feel well informed about what steps SRJC will take in the event of ICE incidents on campus, possible federal funding loss, or other emergencies involving federal programs. One student said, "Make communication clear and get information out faster for the student that are on campus rather than having them find via the Press Democrat. This highlights a critical gap in communication that must be addressed. Imagine the impact of a centralized hub, a single well-designed portal that provides comprehensive information about all available resources, categorized clearly by need, by financial aid, first-gen support, academic assistance, childcare, employment opportunities, and food assistance. Furthermore, there should be multiple channels."
That is 3 minutes, if you could wrap up, please. And please feel free to submit any additional written comments to our board clerk.
Okay. Being a student, SRJC has been powerful and a rewarding experience that I'm grateful for. However, as I'm finishing my last semester here, I feel that it is critical to speak up on how many others have felt that SRJC continuously and consistently fall short. We deserve transparency, accountability, and respect, and this all begins with communication. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, I have Mike Vonderpoorten.
Good afternoon, Mike Vonderpoorten here as a citizen. Last month, you had a special meeting to discuss AB 1705 and 705. And I hope that was just the beginning of the discussions, not the end of the discussions. So I want to bring you a little bit more data. I've given you a handout. And that first page is the percentages that were presented at the meeting. And when you walked away from that, you think, well, we're doing okay. And then again, you're looking at the percentages, but what do they represent? So remember, when you have percentages, you have numerators and you have denominators. And we care about that. And in fact, maybe you should have a board policy. If you ever see a percentage, you want to see the numbers behind it. And so the before has a denominator, before has a numerator, after has a denominator, after has a numerator. So all of those values can be changed, and those change those percentages. So you want to look. Well, let's just take a look. I've only got 3 minutes to look at the denominator. And I pulled the data through a public records request. The numbers you were presented were based upon these numbers. The numbers of students entering the transfer cohort went from 1916 to 991. Those are your numbers. The chancellor's office also publishes some numbers. And what's interesting is instead of reporting the combination, how many students have succeeded in math and English, which is what you need to transfer, they report math and English separately, as if passing one's okay and not passing the other's okay or something. I don't get it. So we don't really know how many passed math and English. And if you go to look at their report, they have a new report they put out in February, and they're very good about putting out pretty charts, but they only show you the numbers they want you to see, the percentages. They don't show you those denominators. But if you go into the CCO report, you can dig a little bit of work, you can pull out the numbers. So let's take a look at the English denominators. This is for SRJC. This isn't the state, this is for us. It says that the number of students entering the English transfer cohort went down 27% over this period. Then you go look at the math, the percent of students entering the math transfer cohort has gone down 55%. Those should be alarming to all of us. And of course, we go to another piece of data, which is the JC public data. It shows our math enrollment going down too. All of this data is consistent. The number of students coming to SRJC to transfer by your data, by the chancellor's office data, are going down. So all five pieces of data and the public perception is that the enrollment's going down. So the number of students entering SRJC's transfer cohort continues to crash. Now, there are lots more questions to take a look at. I only got 3 minutes. I got 10 seconds. We can look at how you can make the numbers look good. We'll evaluate those. And we can look at how to reduce the performance gap. Which of these happened? Which of these are true? Some of us can answer it. Can you answer it? Have you seen the data? So I invite you. The data's available. Who in the administration cares? Who on the board cares? Who's going to dig?
Thank you. Are there any other public comments in the room? I don't have any more. Is there anyone online wishing to speak? Jordan Mead, if you're there, go ahead. You have 3 minutes. Jordan Mead, go ahead. We cannot hear you on this end. We'll give one more try. It is unmuted, right? All right, we cannot hear you, so calling one last fourth time. All right, is there anyone else online? Let's go on. Matthews, what was the name? Anna Matthews, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, you have 3 minutes.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I'm Anna Matthews, Government Relations Director of the Faculty Association of California Community Colleges. Calls to reform AB 1705 are only growing across the state, with the Student Senate for California Community Colleges representing 2.1 million students, co-sponsoring the faculty legislative proposal to reinstate student access to standalone pre-transfer courses. The reason AB 705 and AB 1705 happened was because marginalized students were disproportionately being placed into pre-transfer level coursework. But instead of considering that a lack of access to resources and opportunities that may lead to marginalized students having less preparation in English and math, AB 1705 instead eliminated all pre-transfer coursework. If there are no classes that aren't transfer level, we can tout that all students are taking transfer level courses, without regard for whether or not they are ready or able to succeed. In trading one rigid system for another, we have lost the ability to bridge the gap for the students who need community college the most. AB 1705 has set up a sink or swim system, and the most vulnerable students are drowning. Community colleges boast of accepting the top 100% of students, and people in the community think community colleges are the place for them to learn, regardless of their academic background. But when we can no longer offer math or English classes that respond to the needs of our community, we remove the community from community college. Our support of diversity is performative if we don't fight to provide flexible learning options for students who have different academic backgrounds. Like the last speaker mentioned, is it really a win if we have high throughput percentages if we have to push our vulnerable students out of higher education to do so? Do we care more about making education accessible to all students or about meeting superficial metrics at the cost of our students? Remedial pathways like they were pre-AB 705, and also, every single student shouldn't be forced into the same class regardless of their preparation levels and denied additional support if they request it. Students need flexible learning pathways and scaffolded approaches to education. When student futures are on the line, we have a responsibility to fight for their agency and equitable access to coursework. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else online? We'll try Jordan Mead one more time. Jordan Mead, you have 3 minutes if you can go ahead. I see you're muted. Please go ahead. All right, we are going to move on and close the public comment. We are going on to item B9, monthly updates, information items. With the end of a semester comes some change. And one of those changes is in our student trustee. And, I want to start off this section by recognizing our outgoing student trustee, Anthony Spinozzi. He's been just very dedicated to the board, a great advocate for students, and very committed to bringing the student voice and perspective to the Board of Trustees. So I want to really thank you for your leadership, your time and dedication, and wish you best as you go on to the next chapter. We have a recognition for you, but I think we'd like to turn it over to the rest of the board and maybe Dr. Garcia as well to say a few words before we present that.
Yes, thank you so much, President Shaban. Student trustee Spinozzi has certainly, I think, brought a level of energy and commitment and advocacy in his role and in his work this year. I think we're going to hear a little bit later, certainly about the connection that the student trustee and our SGA president have done over the course of this past academic year. We do have a presentation, which Trustee Shaban, we have a small token, but on behalf of the district, I definitely want to congratulate you on an incredible year serving as student trustee. Wish you the best of luck as you consider your transfer options or your next steps, and just know that you have definitely left a lasting impression. I have enjoyed our monthly conversations and impromptu stop-ins in the president's office, and have very much appreciated the chance to get to know you and see you grow in your student leadership. So wishing you the best of luck, and I really want to thank you on behalf of the district for your leadership and your service in this role.
Well, let's all meet up front. Or wait, Trustee Battenfeld, any other trustees wishing to speak?
No, I just want to echo everybody else's comments and really thank Trustee Spinozzi. I mean, the reason we have a student trustee is so that we get student input, and it's really important that we have you, and you've really gone above and beyond in your role as trustee this year, and really making sure that you're active and that we hear that student voice. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments? Please join me in. Please join me in front of the dais for a photo op. The full board. Yeah. All right. Next, we'll move to our college president report with Dr. Garcia, and welcome back after
Yes.
missing the last meeting, and glad you're healed up.
I definitely am getting there. Thank you. Good evening, President Shaban, trustees, student trustee, and colleagues. I had my remarks set up a certain way, but because we've just finished by congratulating and thanking student trustee Spinozzi, I do want to just take an additional moment and underscore what it means for a student to engage in a leadership role, and to do that amidst their own academic and career training, and to do that, to provide that level of time and commitment, realizing that they're trying to figure out how to commute and get to classes and get to meetings. And I very much am appreciative of you engaging in that role, because I know we saw but the tip of the iceberg to the work that you really did as student trustees. So thank you very much, and congratulations to you on the end of this academic year. I always like to begin with celebrating students whenever possible. We had this amazing presentation by Josh Hamsey and the forensics team. He already shared information that this past Friday, there were 150 students from across 42 different majors that participated in that tournament. There were guest judges, and certainly something that if trustees, if you are ever available during one of those, I highly recommend and invite you to participate. Also, over the weekend, the SRJC baseball team successfully defeated Folsom Lake College to advance to the Northern Regional Playoffs. So we will now be hosting Sierra College this Friday through Sunday. And that's another example of, again, students who they're living their full lives in the classrooms with faculty, engaging and also committing to being student scholars and athletes. So best of luck to the baseball team as they continue. Also want to share that on Friday, May 9th, the SRJC dance program held 3 presentations in its spring concert in Burbank Auditorium. Participants describe it, or attendees describe it, as innovative and captivating evening where the worlds of dance and science collide. The spring concert was entitled Periodic Table of Dance. So never, if you ever thought science and dance would come together. They featured original pieces that were choreographed by SRJC faculty and students, original spoken word performances from members of the SRJC forensics team, plus collaborations from Sonoma State University Dance Department. I also want to note that as we're going into the final weeks of this semester, of this academic year, I want to congratulate all SRJC students, from career education to transfer to lifelong learners to dual enrollment to non-credit, adult education, just all of it. Thank you. You have made SRJC a special place. Your contributions have left a lasting impact, and I wish everyone the best of luck as you go into all of the final papers, quizzes, and exams. Want to congratulate all the graduates and look forward to the myriad of events that have already started this past beginning in May. And the culminating events will lead to Celebrate Career Education on Friday, May 23rd from 5 to 7 p.m. in Hale Pavilion. Invite the community to come out and celebrate graduates, as well as commencement on Saturday, May 24th, 9 a.m. in Bailey Field. So looking forward to those culminating fascinating events, but I cannot stress enough and want to express my gratitude to the faculty, classified professionals, and management team for all of the work that you are doing for the student graduate celebrations that are taking place. Those are incredibly intimate and beautiful, and just filled with so much culture and energy. We heard earlier, just want to offer my congratulations to our Employee of the Month with 27 years of service. In my meeting with her, I learned a lot about the cats that have names and have had babies over generations. But in all kind of jesting aside, what it means to be here for 27 years and to be part of a community. And so she described a lot about being an early morning person and being here with a faculty member who likes to get here early and a staff member who likes to get here early. And so what it means to build many communities. So I definitely appreciated that. In closing out with students, I know we're going to hear from our SGA President Ruben Garcia. Also want to acknowledge that it is Ruben's last meeting representing SGA. Certainly has held that role with a level of high energy and integrity and engagement and bringing, again, just a force of energy. He may or may not have taught me how to throw a disc golf. Did I say that correctly? Disc frisbee golf. We instituted opportunities where we wanted students to be included throughout the fabric of the college. And so I think very fondly of our president's address and the open house that was held at Pauley Hall, and just the level of energy to which you brought to that, to the athletic events, I think with some pre-gaming elements, but most importantly, I think with your leadership to constantly think about advocacy and what it means to bring community college students to have access to opportunities that are often reserved for four-year students or more elite institutions. So I also wish you congratulations as you make your considerations for next steps, and congratulate you on a very successful year and wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors as well. Closing comments here. While the board is not going to receive this information during this meeting, I think it's important to note, especially because of the fact that it's our last meeting that we have with all of our constituency groups. I'm incredibly proud of the work that has taken place with the district strategic plan. I look forward to the Planning and Budget Council to make forth a recommendation on a district strategic plan, which will come to this board at your June meeting. There has been a lot of work and discussion and many people who provided inputs, but I want to, while there were many folks involved, I do want to acknowledge and thank the leadership of our co-chairs, Dr. Jeremy Smotherman and Dr. John Stover, for their very consistent shepherding of the process. So thank you very much for that, and look forward to this board seeing the product of that work. Likewise, I know I have said this at other meetings, I might be the only person that really loves participatory governance, but I am very proud of the work that has come out of College Council. The participatory work group has met consistently to follow up and follow through on designing a governance structure where we clearly outline how it is that input into decision-making processes are made. And what I appreciate most about that group is that we have representation from the constituency groups, from our unions and senates and leadership teams. And I will tell you, we don't always agree at the beginning, but we have worked through the discussion and the process. So I look forward to the completion of that work coming to this board for your consideration of our newly redesigned governance structure. I'm sure that Academic Senate President Stover will share about the special discussion topic, but the Academic Senate is holding a special meeting on AP 7120A, which is the faculty hiring administrative procedure. Again, this is another thing where folks might think that's not all that exciting, but it absolutely is, and it's critical to the work. And I look forward to attending the upcoming special meeting of the Academic Senate and the continued partnership and collaboration to streamline and clearly communicate our procedures for faculty hiring. And this one will set the course for the others that are to follow. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I want to close with this comment to the Board of Trustees. I want to recognize and congratulate this board for your acceptance into the Aspen Institute's College Excellence Program. I think the community should know that this board was accepted as part of a national initiative that's designed to strengthen the relationship and the work of boards of trustees with community college presidents in their efforts to sustain systemic reform that improves student outcomes. And I want to share, especially in light of some comments in the special session or the special meeting of last month, that your continued focus on trying to understand and unpack and make informed decisions on policy related to student success. And I'm going to speak very directly here to AB 1705 and AB 705, I think speaks volumes to this board not shying away from tackling the difficult questions. So they have taken an active and public role in this. This collaborative will have, it's a year-long convening with 2 virtual gatherings and 1 in person. And I look forward to sharing, as I imagine the trustees, to sharing with the broader community how it is that they're taking in the data, not only student data, but county demographics and labor market to help inform their efforts. And so I do want to congratulate, because you have to have a level of humility to expose, yes, we have room to learn. And so I congratulate you for that and look forward to supporting you in that process. And with that, that concludes my remarks for this evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Garcia. Next, we'll go on to the foundation report with Trustee Fishman.
Okay. Didn't hear my excuse that the font's small. Okay. The Scholarship Office recently held a Doyle Trust Scholarship Committee meeting. In 2024-25, we awarded $6.3 million in scholarships, $4.1 million from the Doyle Trust and $2.2 million from foundation scholarships. 92% of the students who applied received a scholarship. Our spring fundraising appeal will drop in the mail on May 12th, and this year's campaign features a student on the forensics team. The campaign will also include a video component. Thank you, Josh Hamshi, for his incredible team of students for their collaborative partnership this year. The foundation will host an installation dinner on June 24th to say thank you to the departing board members and welcome new members. Teresa Norton steps off the board this year. She was our past chair, and we are welcoming 7 new board emeritus. These individuals who have served for 9 years or more, and they include Jeff Bricker, Don Chigazola, Sue Nelson, Steve Page, Kent Stiegmiller, Bill Traverso, and Paul Yeomans. At our May 22nd board meeting, we will celebrate 10 students who have participated in our first cohort of Student Learning to Give. We have set aside $10,000 for this group of students to give away an SRJC program, or give away to an SRJC program of their choice. We have been teaching them the value-based philanthropy and empowering them to embrace their inner philanthropist. Over the past 2 weeks, students have interviewed 6 potential grantees, including the Second Chance Club, Child Development Center, Roseland, Disability Cultural Center, Bear Club Scholars, and Native American Center. Thank you to our campus colleagues who were part of their interviews and gave students this experience. The award will be revealed on May 22nd. Please save the date for the next President's Address to the community that will take place on Thursday, September 18th. The President's Medallion this year will be awarded to Sam Guerrera and his wife, Ava, who passed away in 2022. Sam and Ava have been donors since 2006 and have supported many SRJC programs, including laptops for students following the Tubbs fire, study abroad scholarships, international students, the Student Housing Endowment, and most recently, the Santa Rosa campus. As of April 30th, the foundation has secured, are you ready? $10.5 million for donation scholarships and programs compared to last year's $9.1 million. And I'm going to take a second to edit this or ad lib a little bit and just thank, you all know that Jay Molyneux is leaving the foundation, and to thank him for his contribution to the school. I personally missed last Thursday, so wonderful, Jay. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything else till after a vote. Am I? Can I say welcome to Sarah without getting in trouble? It's on the agenda. Welcome. Is that they have to take action, and I would recommend a vote, but anyway, so I'm done lobbying. Thank you. Well, you can fire me,
Trustee Siobhan, may I say one thing? I know I already had my time.
Please go ahead.
I want to share that. I'm so sorry. I want to share this because in the midst of trying to get through my notes, I wanted to say that we celebrate students, but we also in this closing time, we celebrate retirees, faculty awards, newly tenured faculty, and the announcement of next year's Towser lecturer. And so that definitely is it was a phenomenal event to celebrate faculty and retirees, separate events, but just want to announce that Dr. Mark Anderman from the music department is next year's Towser lecturer, and certainly want to congratulate him on that. It's a wonderful tradition. And closing with that, I get so excited talking about students. And so I just want to say thank you to the faculty, classified professionals, managers, but especially in these finals weeks, the final papers, the exams, the grading. Sometimes we think all is done with commencement, and in theory it is, but you know what? Those grades need to get completed. And so I'm incredibly grateful for the ways in which you all show up for students. And so thank you for allowing me the additional 90 seconds.
Absolutely. Next, we'll move on to the Board Legislative Committee. This will be a quick update. The Board's Legislative Committee met last month, and we discussed updates on federal and state policy issues, including positions from the California Community College League. And we continue to monitor and discuss emerging policy issues. We'll move on to the Board Policy and Procedure Review Committee with Trustee Battenfeld.
Right, the Board Policy and Procedure Review Committee, which consists of myself, Trustee Fishman, and Trustee Martinez, we met on April 16th. We're tasked with reviewing the Chapter 2 of the policies related to the Board of Trustees. And we are continuing to review policies and make sure they are up to date and reflect our mission as well as current law. The committee is bringing 7 policies and procedures for first reading today, in addition to a second reading of BP 2510. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Next, we will go on to the bond update with Vice President Kate Jolly.
All right. Good afternoon, President Siobhan, members of the board, Dr. Garcia, college community. I am happy to be back giving the update for you this month. Before I start, I want to really thank Stephanie Jarrett for all of her work stepping into my role for the past few months. She handled it with so much grace, curiosity, professionalism, and complete brilliance, even when everyone was hazing her. And I am just so grateful. So I also want to thank all of my managers for their work during that time. They all leaned in and just did an incredible job. So I'm back. Starting with our newest project, the Public Safety Training Center Fire Tower. We are really happy to get this one going. This is being funded out of graded funding from the state of California, funds from the foundation, and ILM, instructional equipment and library material funding from the state. On the agenda today is the award of contract to fire facilities for the structural portion of the project. We do anticipate the structure to be complete in August of 2026. In Bertolini, the Student Center Career Services renovation, that's a mouthful, for DRD and the Career Center, the award of contract to CWS Construction is on the agenda for approval today, and we will be doing construction over the summer. For Towser, we're getting closer to completion. We have installed tile and plumbing fixtures. We're doing partitions and lockers in the locker room. In the equipment room and sports medicine area, we're working on the new cabinetry. And we're doing drywall on the east wing. And then where the old outdoor pool used to be located, the rubber track has been installed, and we'll be working on installing the turf. We have a change order to Alton Construction for almost $1.05 million, mostly for new clay tile roofing in areas, window contacts, and other design related and district requested changes. This brings our total change orders to 8.85% for the project. We were carrying a 12% contingency on this project because of the building's age and unknown conditions, so we're still squarely within our budget. We anticipate construction to be complete in July. However, there won't be enough time to move the occupants in prior to fall, so we will move them in time for spring of 2026. At SRJC Roseland, the work in heritage is ongoing. We're working on upgrading the restrooms to meet ADA standards. We're adding a new HVAC system with scheduled maintenance funding and installing new carpet, paint, and audiovisual. We have a change order for the new building furniture for $7,967 on the agenda for today. That is for tax-related changes. And we anticipate having Heritage complete the first week of August, so fall classes can be held in the renovated spaces. And the Welcome Center is now a structure. So we have the framing complete. We're now building it out. We're doing the site work and anticipating the paving will be complete by the end of the month. So this portion of the project should be completed by the end of this calendar year. And we have a few other items on the agenda today that I have not highlighted. We are filing the notice of completion for the Emeritus Roof and HVAC project. We have a $9,545 contract amendment for Hamel Green and Abrahamson for DSA requested design changes on the Petaluma tutorial project. We have an award of contract for FAC Ops to Sizerco for the HVAC upgrade in Building 600 on the Petaluma campus. And additionally, we have a public utility easement request from Sonoma Water for the Public Safety Training Center. So this will be for a line of property across Freedom Way back by the EVOC track. This is the first agenda item on this. If you approve the intention to grant the easement, we will proceed with posting the notices, and there will be a public hearing and request to grant the easement at the meeting in June. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. Trustee Benfeld, was that microphone on from before? Looks like it. All right. Thank you for the update. Next up, Student Trustee Spinozzi with our Student Trustee Report.
Good evening, everyone, friends, board members, colleagues, and all who make Santa Rosa Junior College the gem it is. Tonight, I'm here to share my final report as student trustee, and I want to remind you guys that this is not going to be a farewell, but it's a moment of reflection of what we've done over this school year. And I want to honor the journey we've taken together and to look ahead on what's to come. And so this is our story, and it's a story of hard work, shared vision, and a belief that even the quietest beginnings can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Every person in this room has played a part in that. You're the reason we've come this far, and it's with deep gratitude that I stand here, even though it is my last time. I want to take you guys back to really where it all started, and it's where I met Ruben Garcia at the Inner Club Council, and that's where a lot of student leaders originate and find their place. And he was a student leader with the same fire and focus I felt, and we ran for student government, not for titles, but to make a difference. And that's where, and I know some of you guys have heard this a million times, but that's where the Student Investment Program, SIP, was born. And it's a simple idea to give students the tools to understand investing, to shape their futures and see beyond survival towards success. What started here at SRJC grew into something powerful, and it's a program that's now resonating beyond our campus and in campuses beyond. We presented our research on the macroeconomic impact of such programs to Stanford, where we formed a partnership with their Institute of Economic Policy Research, which is an incredible step that brought the student investment program in the spotlight. We also raised $20,000 to launch the program. And more than that, we're in talks to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars with local, or not local, but larger banks, larger institutional banks. And the support isn't just financial, it's a sign of trust. And that trust is in our students, in our mission, and in what's possible when a community comes together. We took that belief to the state capitol again and again, where we shared the story of the SIP and leaders listened. Today, a statewide resolution exists because of those efforts, encouraging programs like ours across California Community College. Our research has shown what many suspected: these programs change lives. They create economic opportunity, lift up communities, and redefine what education can achieve. When the U.S. Department of Treasury invited us to serve on their advisory board for collegiate financial literacy, they weren't just calling on a program, they were recognizing a program that started here at SRJC. As I've traveled representing SRJC at conferences and meetings, I've seen one thing clearly, and it's that this college is different. We're not just an institution to many, we're a promise. I've heard stories of colleges struggling, fighting to keep students engaged and systems afloat. And every time I think back to what we've built here at Santa Rosa, I thought of our Rising Scholars Network, supporting students who faced incarceration. I've thought of Higher Up, helping foster youth and parents toward a better future. I thought of our free bus passes, mental health services, financial aid reforms, the kind of work that makes a real difference, quietly and consistently. At every stop, at every single conference I've been to, regardless if it's local or federal, people always ask, and they're always in awe when I show them our dorms and other things. And they always ask, how does SRJC do it? And it's, the same answer every time. And it's the great support system we have here. That's through our administrators, through our faculty, through our classified senate, through everyone, just everyone. So if I didn't mention you, know that. And it's the faculty who teach here especially. I've taken so many classes here at the JC, and every time I interact with the faculty, and I don't think I've ever had a bad experience. Almost every time they're here, and they're here to support, and they're to do, what they do best, and that's teach. And so I wanted to shout that out specifically. And so that's what makes SRJC a place for others to look for. It's a model for what's possible. Before I close, I want to recognize someone special, and that's Kaya Clark, our next student trustee. And her intelligence, passion, and dedication have made an incredible partner in this work we've done. As you take on your role as student trustee, I have no doubt you'll lead with heart and vision. SRJC really is lucky to have you. I know I was lucky to have you when we were up late at night planning, and your clear and unwavering focus on the students helped us achieve the goals I mentioned before. That is pretty much it. Thank you guys for the wonderful year. I hope you guys the best as I move on.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll go to other board member comments. Are there other board members with comments? Trustee Fishman.
Yeah, I just have two quick things. I was privileged enough to go to the annual trustees conference over the last couple days. And every time I go to one of these conferences, I learn a bundle of stuff. But more than that, I come back with an appreciation for my fellow board members and actually for the college community. The amount of absolutely civil discourse this college has compared to some of the stories I hear about other colleges is just reminds me of how wonderful you all are. And I thank you for that. Even if we may disagree about something, how we do that is really extraordinary. So I always walk away from these conferences appreciating that, appreciating you and appreciating all of you too. So thank you. The other thing I just want to mention real quick is the Construction Trade Center had an event in Petaluma about a month ago, a couple weeks ago. And I just want to thank all of the employees, from the facilities to the management, to the deans, to the faculty that showed up. But most of all, I want to thank the students in the construction trades program who came and basically got to talk the talk, and people were enthralled with them. And it was really wonderful. In addition, some students weren't there that had contributed, and I don't want to forget them because I did appreciate them very much. And this was our flower arranging CTE class. And they did a wonderful job of decorating tables, and that's not to be undervalued either. And so out there, thank you.
Trustee Battenfeld.
Well, just in the vein of congratulating students, yeah, the CTC event was great just to see the students, but I was also able to attend the fashion show that the Petaluma campus put on. And again, that was really incredible. And not only, again, to see the students and all their designs and everything they had to do to put it on. And it's giving me a new appreciation of what it means to be in fashion. It's a lot more complicated and a lot harder and than I thought. And it was also amazing. I mean, it was packed. The number of community people that came out to see our students was also fun. We also had, volunteer models. Somebody asked me, well, did you pay professional models? And I was like, no, we just had people in the community wanted to volunteer and do it. So it was really fun. And the same thing, I saw the orchestra perform with the Sonoma State Orchestra at the Green Music Center. And that was an incredible concert, the Green Music Center was packed. And so I just think it's really nice to acknowledge, in addition to the classes, like you were saying, the academic achievement, all the things that our students are doing at school, and also in terms of involving the community and the community of appreciating what the students are doing. It's really fun. And so this is a nice time of year to acknowledge that. And again, also appreciate the faculty and staff, because none of these events and none of these student achievements take place without real commitment and time from our faculty and staff. So I want to thank them too. And I look forward to all the graduation celebrations coming up. So thank you.
Thank you. Other trustees, Trustee Bailey.
Yes, thank you. First and foremost, I want to take a moment just to acknowledge my colleague, student trustee Spinozzi, and just to acknowledge your dedication, your commitment, but most importantly, your characterization of the promise of this campus. Again, as you describe it as the promise of this campus, I want to continue to welcome, acknowledge, and congratulate Ms. Kaya Clark. Look forward to working with you. But again, I just want to say that it was a genuine and authentic welcoming and coming and joining this amazing board. And I think of the leadership. But when I know that this time of the year is a very intense time in recognizing all of you, students, faculty, staff, but what makes this campus not just what it is, but a beacon of hope. And again, the success for our students and supporting the student success. I recently was in Marin County at another recognition of student academic achievement. And there was a real small discussion about the success and the promise of Santa Rosa Junior College District. Again, most importantly, most people think in terms of the campus, just the literal aspect of the campus, but you never have a tendency to think and take a pause of those of you who actually make our experience. And when I say our experience as a community, but it really just gives me hope when I see and acknowledge, and I want to be careful to make sure I acknowledge Carol Ann, Dolensek, 27 years committing herself to the experience of those that walk on this campus. So I just want to say congratulations to you all, to our leadership, to the Board of Trustees. Again, it is a great sense of pride as we continue to embark on this journey together. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Trustee Bricker.
Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to piggyback on the comments about the Petaluma Construction Trade Center. I didn't go to the event, but the day prior, we hosted Assembly Member Chris Rogers for a tour, and really want to appreciate him coming, making the time. Our partnerships in Sacramento are so important to the success of this college. And but also just to highlight the program there, it was really incredible to see. It was the first time I'd been to that spot on the Petaluma campus and the new program. And it just really struck me, this is a free program that we do. And one of the things I found most impressive is that for every class that's taught in English, we have an equivalent one taught in Spanish as well. So really just showing the way Santa Rosa Junior College is reaching into our community and, working to lift up not just the buildings in our community, but the people as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? And I'll close it out. I want to start by recognizing and congratulating all the students who are graduating or transferring after this semester. And then also thanking the faculty, staff, and administrators that, made this academic journey possible. It's a big achievement, and we look forward to you joining our alumni ranks. I was struck when VP Jolly was presenting on the bond update that our new fire tower is thanks to one of our alums, State Senate President Pro Tem Mike McGuire, who attended here and has credited the JC with starting his trajectory in higher education from being, in his own admission, not the best student in high school. Really played a pivotal role. And, so I expect all of you graduates to get us new fire towers and other things, so no pressure. But it just goes to show, the things that our alumni do, and the contribution and continued connection that they have to the campus. So thanks and congratulations to everyone. I'll also note, on a point of personal privilege, my daughter is finishing up her last final for her first year of college tomorrow. And she is going to be enrolling in the JC for a summer class. And so I'd encourage and just want to promote the idea that for those of you who know anyone attending any CSU, UC, or private college, that this is a great way for folks to get very high quality education with some of the best professors in the state or country at a much more affordable rate. As someone who paid, I think, $1,500 for one of her summer classes through the CSU. And I will say, not that the community college chancellor's office is listening, but it is just outrageous how difficult it is for an existing CSU student to enroll in a community college. Our chancellor's office and the chancellor of the CSU, as well as the UC president, I think everyone needs to get on the same page on this. A lot of our students have had problems with this. No, there's actually state requirements, and we're not in charge of our own application system. So there's only so much we can do, but I will say that was just very annoying, to put it mildly. So ending on that high note, I will move on to our reports and turn it over to our academic Senate President John Stover on item B10.
Board President Shaban, trustees, Dr. Garcia, and members of the SRJC community. Thank you for this opportunity to share academic Senate related updates with you. Since we last met, we've completed our final 3 regularly scheduled meetings of the semester, and we're currently planning amongst the executive committee our May 21st special session on faculty hiring. I want to note here that all of you on the board are invited to that session. I will forward the invitation to all of you. We would welcome you as guests. And we have also invited all of the management team and all of the president's cabinet. So we really hope everyone can come. And I look forward to seeing you there. It's been a very busy end of the semester grind. And so we're going to go rapid fire style here, and here are the highlights. So on the 16th of April, we recommended that library faculty be included in the district-wide task force on generative AI. On April 30th, we passed 3 consent items. We are recommending work to that forthcoming task force. We passed a resolution on regular and substantive interaction, which is also known by the acronym RSI. And we are recommending the investment in Name Coach software, which aids faculty in in students being allowed to record their own voice, their own names for their correct pronunciation, which I think is really important. On April 30th, we approved the addition of a new associate area, and we will be realigning our associate areas. So there are about 400 part-time faculty in each area and about 200 faculty represented by associate senators. Right now, it's highly unequal. We also voted to keep our contract representation the same. You never know what the Senate's going to do, so it's always drama. And we approved a revised SLO rubric with the caveat that the category in progress be relabeled "do not meet." So that's important to note. We also approved 4 consent items at our last meeting, one of which was the support and the endorsement of a thematic learning opportunity at SRGAC Petaluma, which I'm very excited about, and I'm very happy that we supported, and I look forward to the innovation at Petaluma infusing the rest of the district in the years to come. We have completed our elections process. So we have, sorry, allergies. We've half the Senate gets elected every year. We also have at-large elections. We've also elected our executive officers. Our new vice president is Tara Jacobson. Our new executive secretary is Monica Kubo. Nick Perrone is our equity advocate. At-large representative Laura Aspinall, associate representative Jessica Bush. I'm happy to serve the Senate through the academic year of 27-28. And I'm very happy that past President Nancy Persons will also be continuing next year as past president. Dr. Garcia stole my announcement about the strategic action works groups and the action plan. That's okay. I still love you. And I'm also honored to have led this work with Dr. Smotherman. We have a lot of work ahead to make these action steps real. And I'm proud to have been a part of something that has never before happened at SRJC. And that is the development of academic goals shaped by the faculty and centered in a plan taking into the holistic and integrated needs of students. Students are why we're here, and students are the reason any of us have a reason to get up in the morning. Let's work together to support our students and center their educational goals in everything that we do as a district. I'm really grateful to be in this role, to be working with you all. I will bring you an end of the year summary in June, and I hope to see you all on May 31st at Santa Rosa Pride. And I'm gonna have a house party after, so you're all invited. So I'll see you there.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have the classified Senate report with President Linda J.
Good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, Dr. Garcia, colleagues, and community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Classified Senate for our May 2025 report. Congratulations to Carol Ann Dolensek on our Employee of the Month award. Her decades of dedication, calm leadership, and unwavering commitment to safety have left a lasting impact on the district. From mentoring colleagues and supporting students, leading key projects, to literally spotting and stopping fires, along with maybe giving out a ticket or two, she truly goes above and beyond. With such a great sense of community and dedication to the JC, it's no surprise she was chosen for this honor. We're grateful for Carol Ann's incredible service and proud to honor her as a shining example of SRJC's spirit and strength. Congratulations, Carol Ann. As this school year comes to a close, the Classified Senate reflects on a successful and eventful year. It has truly been a time of growth, celebration, and meaningful engagement for me and our Classified Senate and professionals. One of our highlights was the Raul Yearberry Classified Recognition Dinner and Silent Auction held last month. The evening's theme, Life's a Beach, perfectly encaptured the spirit of fun and waves of appreciation that filled the event. With around 150 attendees, the night was full of joy and gratitude as we honored our colleagues with well-deserved awards and scholarships. This event is our largest fundraiser of the year, providing essential funds that support our Classified Senate events and scholarship programs. We are deeply thankful to all that contributed items, participated in the bidding, or simply came out to show support. We are especially grateful to board members Battenfeld, Bailey, and Fishman for attending the celebration. Your presence truly underscores the value and respect our classified professionals hold within the college community. Thank you. Looking ahead, the Classified Senate will not convene for our June meeting. Instead, we are excited to host a Senate retreat this July at Schoen Farm, where we'll welcome our new Senate members and collaboratively plan for the year ahead. We will be swearing in Guy Tillotson as VP and Katie Lamb as our new communications officer. It will be a valuable opportunity to connect, reflect, and continue building a strong foundation for our work. As we wrap up this whirlwind of a year, I want to express my sincere appreciation for the opportunity to represent our classified professionals in shared governance. It has been an honor to serve as a Classified Senate President. I hope my efforts have reflected the best interests of our classified professionals and the broader JC community. I'd also like to give a heartfelt thank you to my colleagues for their mentorship and guidance during my first year in this role, and my Classified Senate for their unwavering support. I look forward to continuing this important work together with you all next year. I'd like to also say a thank you to Student Trustee Spinozzi for your service and best of luck in your future endeavors, and welcome Student Trustee Clark. And looking forward to working with you as well. This concludes the Classified Senate May 2025 report. Thank you. I'll see you all in the fall. Have a great summer.
Thank you. Next, we have our Student Government Assembly report with President Ruben Garcia.
All right, thank you. I just want to make sure this button right here. Okay. All right. So it's kind of bittersweet to say this for the last time, but good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, President Garcia, and members of the college community. So I'm going to be giving a bit of an overview on the Student Government Assembly for this term as I give my final report to you all. So as I stand here today, I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for believing in students and for putting up with us too, because I know it's not always easy to be in that position. Us student leaders are passionate, persistent, and stubborn. I actually want to click here. There we go. And sometimes our urgency makes us forget just how much effort and patience it really takes to support us as students. But at the heart, I just want to assure that all we want is to leave the college a little bit better than the way that we found it. And as a result, the 2024-2025 Student Government Assembly set out to rebuild the student experience through culture, connection, and community. And we knew that fostering a strong relationship with our administration would be key for achieving that dream. We set out to advocate for students, not just here on our campus, but at the local, state, and national levels. And thanks to your support, we did. So as Student Trustee Spinozzi mentioned, one of the most transformative initiatives we launched this year was the Student Investment Program, the first of its kind at any U.S. community college, and successfully raised $20,000. I'm going to be repeating a lot of what he already said, and with even more currently under negotiation. The program gives students, especially those from underserved backgrounds, access to real-world investing experience and the tools to build lifelong financial literacy, a problem that we've identified that faces an overwhelming majority of the over 2 million students in the California community college system. And I cannot emphasize enough that we never could have done this without the unwavering support from Vice President Kate Jolly. Please, yeah. And in addition to that, the SRJC Foundation has also been instrumental in making this possible. So thank you to everyone who works with the foundation. Truly, their roles have been critical to the success of myself and Student Trustee Spinozzi that we've had here at SRJC. And I commend you for taking your own personal time to help guide this important initiative, all while managing the intense responsibilities you carry behind the scenes to keep this institution moving. Your guidance turned a bold idea into a reality, and we owe you a huge thank you. And on top of that, I also want to apologize for when we tended to push the boundaries as students to pursue what we believe in, but we are so grateful for your support. And through this initiative, we've laid the groundwork for what will become a statewide model and eventually influence future legislation. And we did some traveling to make sure everyone knows about it. I just wanted to put this slide in here. This kind of captures a lot of the activities that we were able to participate in. I'll go even more into it in this next slide. So this year, we brought SRJC students to the national stage. We attended conferences for the Community College League of California, the Faculty Association of California Community Colleges, the Student Senate for California Community Colleges, and the American Student Association of Community Colleges, which is a national conference. At these conferences, we made thousands of LinkedIn connections. We got rid of all of our business cards and got to meet directly with our legislators in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. We even got an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of the United States Capitol, where we were able to share the impactful work we are doing at our school and across the state. We've also been heavily involved in the Student Senate for California Community Colleges. For those of you who don't know, the SSCCC, as we call it, represents the largest student body in the country, and we made it a task to ensure this organization knows exactly who they're dealing with when SRJC students come to the table. We had 2 SRJC students get elected to regional positions representing over 200,000 students. We passed 2 statewide resolutions, one stipulating a $100,000 pilot program to implement the framework that our SIP has in at least 10 other schools, and the other was to expand Narcan accessibility on all campuses. Trustee Spinozzi and I were also keynote speakers for the most highly attended workshops at the SSCCC General Assembly. So as you can see, we didn't just show up, we showed every other school who the real powerhouse is in the California community college system. As I continue, we also made history by passing a constitutional amendment to create the first VP of Residence Life to launch a dorm student council so that Doyle Hall residents can have a true voice in student government. And additionally, we had a record number of students run for student government in the recent election, proof that the culture of our leadership has grown over this past year. I'm almost done here. This year, we've consistently held club days and student life activities, supported establishment of the new Latin Center. We secured student seats on nearly every shared governance committee. We raised Cub Card revenue, which is the student benefits card. We cut our budget deficit down to nearly breaking even. It could be better. And almost every transferring SGA member has been offered admission to amazing schools such as UC Berkeley, Davis, Virginia, and some still making their decision as well. And so to close this out, I want to say thank you. SRJC has been so much more than just a school for us. It's been a place where lives have changed. Some of the most meaningful opportunities I've had were only possible because someone within this institution stepped up, advocated for us behind the scenes, and took a chance on us. Those quiet acts of belief mattered more than I can express. Right now, more than ever, with uncertainty in politics, education, and society, we need SRJC to be strong. And to conclude my report, I ask that all of you please continue fighting for students so that students can continue fighting for a better world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your service to the college. Next, we'll go to President Ann Donegan with the AFA report.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. That's all I have to say. Excuse me. President Chabon, board members, President Garcia, and the college community. I want to start off by saying thanks to everyone in this room for all the great work we've done this year. I especially want to say thank you to my AFA team, my cabinet, Kay Frindell-Tusher and her great negotiations team, my executive council, and I especially want to say thank you to Wayne Downey, Carlos Valencia, Jessica Bush, and Jan Klemenko, who are sadly all leaving AFA after this year, after some great service. I also want to say thank you to my SEIU, Academic Senate, and Classified Senate colleagues and leaders. They've all done some great work this year as well. And obviously, the real powerhouses, student trustee Anthony Spinozzi and SGA President Ruben Garcia. It's been great working with you guys this year. AFA really wants to continue working with the folks filling your very big shoes next year. And I cannot wait to say, I knew both of you when, because you guys are gonna just go out and rock it. I can't wait. Like President Garcia, I wanna say that we've done a lot of good work with shared governance this year, particularly College Council, PBC, and the Shared Government Work Group. We've made a lot of progress, and I can't wait to see how the new committee structure is going to be unveiled next year. I also want to say thank you to the district as a whole, but especially Josh Adams and his negotiations team. We had quite a year. definitely some frustrations, definitely some roadblocks, but we kept the conversation going and we made real progress. And I want to thank them, especially Robert Holcomb and our deal that we made for CDCP faculty members. We didn't get everything that the EMLS faculty and students were asking for, but we got pretty close. And I want to say thank you to the district. I think it was a fair deal. No, I'll save that for later. I want to now switch gears a little bit and talk about the special meeting about AB 1705 that some people have already spoken about at this meeting. And I'm a nerd. I always read meetings minutes. And I looked at the meeting minutes for the special meeting last month. And this is, verbatim. While completion has declined, the decline of the completing transfer level math and English, and whoever made that report last month to this board, thank you so much for saying that. But it goes on to continue. Trustees understood this as a predictable outcome, the declining numbers of completers, of expanding access to a more diverse student population, not a failure. I want to speak for those students who didn't complete those transfer level math and English classes. It's a failure for them, not their own fault, but it's the fault of this institution that we can't meet students where they are. If students need to take an algebra class, where else can they go than SRJC, right? So it is a failure, right? I would ask you to amend your minutes, but you've already approved them. It's a failure for the students who can't complete these courses. I also want to say Harvard, you guys probably saw this in the paper, Harvard offers an algebra class now because that's what some of their students need. We should do the same thing. Last meeting, maybe the meeting before, I have such end of semester brain because I've got a lot of grading to do. I talked about a cautionary tale, you may or may not remember, about the similar problems at Sonoma State and at Santa Rosa City Schools about mismanagement, administrative costs, ignoring it, and then screaming, we have to cut everything. I don't think that's going to happen here because I do think we have a VP and the district as a whole is keeping an eye on this. But I do want to point out, and I know I only have 20 seconds left, about an audit about the 50% law that has just come out. And in this audit by this, the state of California Auditor's Office, they looked at the salaries and number of administrators from 2013 to 2024. During this 10-year period, enrollments declined by 9%, yet the number of administrators per full-time equivalent students went up by 45% during the same time, right? Comparison, faculty only went up 3%, classified staff went up 7%. During that same time period, thank you for extending my time, during that same time period, administrative salaries went up 116%, whereas the faculty salaries went up 50% and classified staff salaries went up 64%. So I urge us all, as we enter into this new year and we look at, we're going to be facing a lot of budgetary challenges, keep these facts in mind, right? Because we don't want to end up like Sonoma State and Santa Rosa City Schools. Thank you so much for the hard work everyone's done this year. I hope everyone does something fun over the summer.
Thank you. And last but not least, our SEIU president, Sandy Segala.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, President Garcia, students, colleagues, and community. Thank you for your attention today. And thank you, Anne, for your recognition as well for SEIU. So SEIU congratulates all of the new incoming 2025-2026 elected SGA Student Government Assembly leaders, including the new Student President William Garcia and the Executive Vice President Ben Alcantar and the new Student Trustee Kaya Clark. I also want to thank and recognize this past student government assembly leaders and the student president, Ruben Garcia, executive vice president, Annie Donnelly, and student trustee, Anthony Spinosi, for all of their great work this last year. And just congratulations to all the student leadership members, both outgoing and incoming. I just want to congratulate such a fantastic group of leadership. Thank you so much for all of your work. SEIU, our classified review committee, along with the district's management team, are working on off-schedule review of job description requests that come in from our classified professionals. This is based on the outcome from the job study that was completed earlier this year. And the committee is working on clearing up and reviewing the final job descriptions that were completed and are being questioned by our classified professionals. The committee is also reviewing new job descriptions that have come in as well. SEIU members were sent a survey this past month to give input to the most interested contract articles that they would like SEIU negotiation team to work on in negotiations this year. So today on the board agenda, SEIU Local 1021 is presenting its initial contract proposals for reopeners for 2025-2026 to the district for the classified unit. And just to be transparent, our contract articles for negotiations to open our following articles. There are the automatic openers, which are Article 7 is the pay and allowance, which is SEI is interested in parity with other constituency groups. And Article 9, which also is an automatic opener, health and welfare benefits. SEIU is interested in maintaining a competitive benefit package and exploring alternative dental benefit options. This year per contract, we can reopen up to 4 articles. Our Article 6 on hours of employment, SEIU is interested in discussing and clarifying the shifts in variable and flexible schedules. Also, Article 11 on vacation, SEIU is interested in parity with other constituency groups. And Article 14, filling vacant positions, SEIU is interested in clarifying the internal transfers and promotions and minimum qualification equivalences. And finally, Article 22, employee education and training. SEIU is interested in clarifying the shared governance compensation program and exploring additional professional development opportunities for a classified. I'm also here today representing the contract reopener proposals for the SCNC unit, the 24-25 contract negotiations, SEIU Local 1021. SCNC chooses to open the following articles. Article 5 is pay and allowance. SEIU STNC is interested in parity and full-time classified and other constituency groups. STNC grievance procedures. SEIU is interested in seeing the complete inclusion of the grievance procedures agreed to in the 2017 settlement. Review of the 2017 settlement. We're interested in also reviewing and including any remaining provisions of the 2017 STNC settlement that may have been living out of the main agreement. And finally, Article 9, a term of agreement, bargaining a 3-year agreement. And that ends my report. Thank you for your attention today.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we are moving on to item C1. This is our sabbatical leave report for 24-25. We are going to have Vice President Holcomb kick us off.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Garcia, college community. It is my distinct pleasure to provide an introduction of faculty member Brian Antonson regarding his sabbatical projects for this year. Each year the sabbatical committee reviews all of the sabbatical projects and deems one as the exemplary project. And so this year we're gonna hear about the work from faculty member Brian Antonson. During his 2-semester sabbatical leave, Brian wrote 5 original short film scripts. They will serve as original content for the digital filmmaking program's production courses and workshop. Brian also shot and edited one of his newly created scripts. It is entitled Poopsie, and it's now in the process of competing at various film festivals around the country and around the world. Now, Brian is not available to join us in person today because he just finished teaching in Florence through the college's study abroad program. But regardless of that, please help me welcome Brian Antonson to present his outstanding sabbatical work with us tonight. And let's thank him for staying up well past midnight, his local time in Europe. With that, I introduce to you faculty member Brian Antonson. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. And thank you to the Sabbatical Leaves Committee for the honor, and to the cabinet and to the Senate, and to all of you just for making time for this honor. And I really appreciate it. It's great to have the acknowledgement. I'm just going to take the opportunity real fast just to give you a little information about our great program here at the college, because not a lot of people know that we have a digital film program, and it kind of will help you to make sense of the sabbatical project that I did. So I'm in the communications department along with Josh, and we're a big tent that's got a lot of little moving parts to it. I'm in the film production as opposed to film studies. Film studies is studying media and film as art, whereas production is the making of that content. So that's what I teach. And in general, in a larger production school, there's usually 3 different components. We do all 3 in one, but one is TV studio live production. And if you don't know it, we have an incredible TV studio on the first floor of our library. It's better than most 4-year schools. It's really incredible. You should come by and take a tour if you get a chance. We also have a nonfiction production component to our program, which is, like short docs and news. We have that as well, and we bundle that usually with the Oak Leaf and do collaborative projects. And then we have a third part, which is by far our most popular. It's also the most complicated part to teach and also to make, which is fiction production. And this is what you would think of when it comes to like feature film. So we have a very active and lively artistic community. Our students are super enthusiastic, very ambitious, and it's a pleasure to be a part of that program. Because teaching and making fiction content is so complicated, I focused on making scripts for our program as part of the sabbatical project. Just going to show you one little clip here. This is so part of teaching production involves, it's very hands-on. This is let me just freeze it here. This is part of the Public Safety Training Center, Scenario Village, if you've ever been up there. It's a really cool place where they run trainings and things for the different programs that are up there. But what we use it for in digital film is it's basically like a movie set. If you go in there, there are these empty buildings. And in this is something that I did with students last semester, where I was showing them how to light for horror films. For whatever reason, young people love horror films. So we always do a lot of that kind of stuff because that's what they like. But all the projects that we do, this was a very simple one where I just kind of wrote a simple script to sort of focus on lighting techniques. But we do sometimes very complicated pieces. It kind of depends on the class and the students and what we're going for. But regardless of what the project is, all of it needs scripts, right? So usually I'm kind of putting these together the week before because there's so many other parts to it. But once we get the script, then we can start all the pieces of pre-production. That could be a shooting script, storyboards, lighting diagrams. You can see here, this is where the lights go out. This is part of that script. But so anyway, I wanted to try to get ahead of the curve a little bit and have some scripts kind of pre-written. So the sabbatical project was to load a couple scripts in the bank that will serve a couple different features of different classes, fiction classes that we offer. And so my project was to try to write 3 to 5 scripts. So the project itself breaks down into 3 parts. The first part was just to try to get some inspiration and to get back in the classroom. So I was able to get into the Sundance Writers Lab, which was a 8-week synchronous class where I was able to be a student again, which is always great for a teacher, and be able to learn from other working filmmakers on how they teach short film writing, and getting that from professionals. So that was an incredible experience. While I was doing that, I managed to get into 3 big international film festivals: the Tromsø, Rotterdam, and Berlin. I attended all of those in person. It was a really incredible deep dive just to see what filmmakers now are making, and just kind of to try to get hip to the trends and the style of current filmmaking. In all, I did 26 in-person film screenings in 3 countries and attended 70 different film lineups. So it was pretty awesome, pretty intense. And then really the meat and the potatoes of the project was to actually put pen to paper and get the writing done. So I managed to get 5 scripts done. 2 were comedies. Anna's Plan was the one I wrote at the Sundance Lab. Poopsies, which is a romantic comedy mystery short. Burning Bright, which is a dramatic piece to highlight acting and directing actors for dramatic screen. And then 2 short scripts that rely heavily on visual effects. This is to kind of go in with our new virtual production program, which we have at the college, which just started last year. We put this forward in conjunction with the Bay Area Community College Consortium. And that's basically using visual effects as storytelling, using Unreal Engine and other software to help create virtual worlds and a virtual mode of production. So that's basically what the sabbatical project is. Last year, I was able to shoot one of these. As Robert mentioned, this is the movie poster for Poopsies, which is, as you can see, starring Gina Stahlhaven, which is one of our star public speaking teachers. She's also a killer stand-up comic. She tours around the country doing stand-up. If you ever get a chance to see her, she's hilarious. Some of the audio is done by, or all of the audio is done by David Mendez. He's the audio whiz in media services. Shot it with a bunch of students. It's currently on film festival circuit. It premiered at the Sacramento International Film Festival a few months ago. It collected some awards in LA, and it's making the rounds. So that's been a great start to the whole project. And I think I'm right at time, so I'll wrap it up there. If you want to know anything more about this, feel free to shoot me an email or come visit me in the library next fall into our TV studio. You can also look me up on the International Movie Database, IMDb, if you're interested. Or also, I'm going to be posting the short film after it's done its festival run on my website, which is brianantonson.com. So thanks for your attention, and thanks for the accolades and everything. I appreciate all of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Antonson. Any board member comments? I just thank you on behalf of the board for sharing your experience and for staying up late. You're remarkably chipper and well-paced for the time of night it is over there. So appreciate you joining us.
I had a pot of coffee about an hour ago, but thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to move on next to item C2, Guided Pathways, SRJC Forward update. Dr. Garcia, do you want to kick us off for this item?
Yes, I'd like to introduce and welcome our colleagues. We have Dr. Matthew Long, Executive Dean from the Petaluma campus, who is also a lead administrator related to Guided Pathways, and Dr. Michael Hale, faculty member. They provided this presentation so that the trustees and the community can learn of the efforts across the district regarding the implementation of Guided Pathways. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to you both.
Great, and thank you, and welcome to the Board of Trustees, President Shaban, President Garcia, and the college community. Today, we are going to give you an update on SRJC Guided Pathways efforts, our work thus far, and the road ahead.
Guided Pathways is a statewide California community colleges initiative to redesign how we support students from entry to completion. At SRJC and across the CCC system, Guided Pathways means the following: helping students choose and enter a pathway early, even if they are exploring at first. Starting with onboarding and continuing through completion, GP aims to connect every student to structured academic and career supports. reducing equity gaps by ensuring all students, especially first generation and disproportionately impacted students, receive clear guidance and proactive assistance. Guided Pathways addresses persistent challenges in California community colleges. Too many students taking excessive units, switching majors, stopping out, and never reaching completion. This is not a standalone program. It is a comprehensive redesign of how colleges operate.
Okay. So for Guided Pathways, we are working from a work plan that you all approved, a year and a half ago, I would say now. And our goals are in these five outcome metric areas: successful enrollment for entering students, helping students persist from their primary term to the next, completing math and English in their first year, and obviously completing their overall goals in their degree or certificate, and finally transferring if that is their goal. So that's what we're trying to achieve and make better for our students.
In 2024, the Guided Pathways Work Group introduced a new way of conceptualizing the work of Guided Pathways at SRJC with this logo: SRJC Forward, Reimagining the Student Experience. It is not just a visual identity or logo, but a call to action. It reflects a shift from viewing Guided Pathways as a standalone initiative to embracing it as a college-wide reimagining of the student experience.
In that regard, a little bit about our timeline of our current work. In the fall, we did a lot of getting the infrastructure put into place, a lot of onboarding our two coordinators. We have two faculty coordinators, one for Guided Pathways overall, it's Michael Hale, and Philomena Avila, who's been working on our program mapping and creating our interest areas. And this spring, we have really been working on those quite heavily, working on program mapping and creating a model for student engagement as well going forward of how we're going to work with students to design their experience. And really glad to that.
We all know how important student feedback is when designing initiatives that are intended to engage them. We also know it is difficult to get students, especially non-traditional students and low-income students, to come to meetings. We are trying to solve this challenge by using a three-part engagement strategy. First, the GP work group creates a draft of the initiative. Next, we gather input via in-person focus groups at student representative bodies like the Student Government Association and the Interclub Council. Finally, we use that feedback to develop a digital survey in collaboration with IERP, distributed through social media, faculty outreach, and peer-to-peer sharing. This approach allows us to test student-facing initiatives with small but diverse and representative samples.
So our work, we really begin with a foundation of program mapping. And let me talk about what that means and why we started here. So program mapping means clearly laying out the courses a student needs to take semester by semester to complete their degree or certificate. And these maps also show how each major connects to maybe career opportunities and transfer options as well. This helps eliminate confusion and keep students on track with their courses they need to take, and especially those who might be exploring the curriculum and exploring what major they'd like to do, as well as what career they might be engaged in, and balancing their school or work life or family responsibilities. Mapping is foundational to all our Guided Pathways work because it contributes to how our programs will be grouped into academic interest areas, which is another feature that we're talking about of the Guided Pathways work, as well as like redesigning our website to be better and more communicative to students, structuring our onboarding and advising, counseling, and it's also a key step in making SRJC easier to navigate for students and staff. Still me. All right, this is a sense of what program maps look like. As you can see, it lists the requirements that students need. In this case, this is our business administration program, and it lays out the requirements in a semester sequence. So you would start with fall 2023, take these three, well, it's actually two major courses and then additional requirements. And we would fill this out more with maybe milestones that students need to complete. Now it's time to make sure you have your educational plan done. Now it's time to apply for graduation, that kind of thing. So it presents that all chronologically. Here's another example, and this one is in a program called CourseLeaf. And CourseLeaf is part of the new suite of software that we are instituting with our Ellucian banner product. And this is what it looks like integrated into the catalog and curriculum website that we receive along with the CourseLeaf product. So as you can see, it's the same thing, just a different view in terms of a list instead of cards. And it lists out what it needs to be completed in each of the terms. And we would be doing the same thing. This is a 2-year curriculum example from Citrus College. Typically, also with the Guided Pathways Initiative, we relate the curriculum to possible career options or jobs they might be related to the major that they're involved in. And we do this through a tie-in through the Department of Labor work and how they code it as related to things called top codes with our curriculum. So this provides a sample of what that looks like. And so all this is integrated onto one web page, and students can explore that as they're looking through and deciding what majors they're interested in. Okay.
SRJC currently offers approximately 119 majors and over 200 certificates, which provides an extensive range of choices, but often leads students to experience, quote, paralysis of choice. To combat this choice overload, we are creating academic interest areas, which organize programs into clear, manageable clusters that reflect related career and discipline pathways. These clusters typically number from 4 to 9 categories, the most common number among community colleges. This range helps students explore academic and career options without becoming overwhelmed. Academic interest areas support students by doing the following: simplifying initial choices about what courses and programs to pursue, allowing students to explore options within a structured area without losing credits, facilitating clear connections between academic programs and career outcomes. This approach aligns with best practices from the broader California community college system, provides a proven to enhance student clarity, success, and completion rates. We are in the drafting phase of developing the academic interest areas. It is important to note the current GP task force is building upon the good work of the previous academic Senate-led efforts, including the mapping team. This is a mock-up draft image they created. We show it here because it was an instructive attempt to illustrate, quote, how we support students from entry to completion, with the roots of our famous oak tree logo to the general education trunk to their development into the various different pathways. The current GP task force is engaged in a collaborative faculty-led process to develop a recommendation for SRJC's academic interest areas using student feedback. We will do this in 2 ways. In the next academic year, this SRJC Forward Work Group is researching and drafting a framework for SRJC's academic interest areas based on research, best practices, and student feedback. In the fall, we will share the draft framework for feedback, including presentations to PDA and participatory governance committees. Here, you will find research the work group has gathered on Guided Pathways efforts at other community colleges, outlining how many pathways they have and what they have named them. Because our implementation is occurring a bit later than most colleges in the system, we have the advantage of learning from what was proven successful across the state. One clear takeaway: using student-friendly language and designing pathways that are engaging, encourage exploration, and are meaningful to students makes a significant difference.
I'll just conclude by saying we're continuing our work. We will be completing, this is fall 2025 and beyond, completing these mapping web pages that we just displayed to you based on our Ellucian implementation. We'll be developing these academic and career interest areas as we just discussed, looking at the possibility of combining efforts of what we do to a full first-year program, and then exploring student support networks around these pathways. And with that, we'll conclude and see if there's any questions.
I got questions.
All right, thank you very much. We'll start with Trustee Fishman.
Oh, hi. So I'm correct in understanding we have not implemented this yet, correct?
Right, we're in the
We're in the draft.
We're in the draft phases of putting in the program mapping. We have lots of it done, but right now we have to wait for the software to be installed.
Right,
in order
okay.
for us
And
to-
when,
yes,
so
yes.
when will you think that'll happen?
That's a good question, Kate Jolly.
Oh.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
I mean, like
Probably
fall of-
July, August is when
okay.
this part will get installed, and then we'll be doing it in the fall, probably. Yeah.
And my second question was, where does the student engagement begin? A student walks onto campus. Is this through a counselor, or that they're finding it
I
out
see.
for themselves on the website? What's the connect for the student to be able to get to guided pathways?
Yeah.
Where's the engagement?
Good question. I think for a lot of students, it does begin with their high school counselor and career counselor when they're looking at coming to what, you know, which higher education option they're considering. And if they're considering the JC, often they'll jump on the website and take a look at that. But we do it with them also through the outreach process and, you know, our programs that are in the high schools themselves. So lots of the time it's our outreach folks that will be walking them through their options through our Jumpstart program, for instance.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
the counselors would pick it up, or what
That's right.
happens if you're not, you know, you're not a high school student, you're
That's
a
right.
26-year-old student that walks onto campus?
Yeah, that's right. And when you're talking about these, I think that's the design and dream of like the academic interest area piece is that, hey, here's all our curriculum. We'd probably be doing this in ed planning workshops or orientation. And then here's where you may fall within it based on your interests. You know, maybe you're interested in visual arts. So that would be our visual
Right.
arts pathway.
I think I understand. I'm still a little fuzzy on how they get hooked in.
Yeah.
You know,
And we're working on that. It will become clear, but it'll be through the onboarding process.
through the,
essentially
at some
yes,
point.
which is
And it could be various different points depending on
It will be,
where the student comes from.
yeah, it will be. Anything
Okay.
you want to say on that one? No.
Okay.
Yeah. It will be at various points. Yes. We'll be
Okay.
walking them through it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You go ahead.
I don't know that anyone else has that. We'll go to you,
there's
Trustee
Clyde.
Battenfeld.
Okay. No, that was one of my questions, was
Mhm.
where do they go in? And it sounds like for high school students, they could start there. So for example, they could even start as freshmen in high school, figuring things out and figuring out like dual enrollment options to get them going.
Yeah. Some of
at
these will connect with
point.
pathways that are happening in the high school already. Yes,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
okay,
Yes, yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
Or they could come and somehow get involved. And will they be able to do it independently, like through an app or something?
Yeah, I mean, what's one part of this entails is much better web presence, which is what you're
Okay,
talking about,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
better visual representation of what we offer, and then how it funnels down from kind of big ideas. Here's, you know, visual arts, for instance, and then how it might relate specifically to majors within there. Are you interested more in painting? Or are you more interested in film? You know, so it's this idea of taking all these 300 and what did we
Yeah.
say, 324 options, something like that, and bringing it down to, let's start with a few and then work from there to get more specific.
But then ideally, they'll then know exactly what they need to take. So
Most students,
hopefully it'll help them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
most students have to declare a major in order to get, you know,
Yeah.
you have to get financial aid. So most students, you know, are declaring a major, so.
But this ends with they're getting an associate degree or certificate here. It's not a 4-year, like
Right.
then when you go on to Sonoma, because that's, you know, I was at the CCLC conference and that was one of the things, the frustrations at still, you know, students are getting into like Sonoma State, but there's still issues with not every course is accepted in the same way. And, you know, still not,
Yeah.
you know, not enough articulation. And,
That's right.
and so it sounds like we're trying to work on this end and then, but if there's things we could do as trustees to keep working on that other.
Absolutely.
And so they're not having to repeat things or pay for things they've already done.
That's right. Those
then-
are the goals. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I
great.
think the best way to think about guided pathways, SRJC forward now, is this idea of system redesign. How can we make our systems more student friendly, include more guidance in them so it helps students along the way? So it's system reform. It's like, how do we make things easier for students,
Yeah.
you know, and better and more clear and translate it into their language. Yeah,
Right.
that's a lot of it.
No, great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Next, we will move on to item C3, C4, and C5. So as we've been doing in our agendas is including written informational updates that don't have presentations, but it's a way to maximize information out there to the college community. So I always do encourage folks to look at this. We have a great update, C3 on the pharmaceutical technician program, C4 the culinary arts department update, and C5 more on the forensics program. Of course, we did have that presentation earlier. Does any board members have any comments on those or any public comments? I do encourage you to check that out in your leisure time, and appreciate the staff work putting those reports together, those updates. Next, we will go on to item C6, which is revised board policies and administrative procedures of first reading. And we'll go to Dr. Garcia to give a summary of those.
Thank you. I believe we have a presentation set forward just in keeping with previous board meetings where we tried to provide the overview of what board policies and administrative procedures are coming to this body. In this particular presentation, what you see is for first reading on the left is the name of the revised policy. So you can see here from BP 2105, which is election of student trustee, all the way down to BP 5300, student equity. In the revisions, so on the right side, we have notes that let you know, okay, what is the intention around the change? So often it's something that we are legally required to have. And as you know, the district for several years now has been on an effort to revise our current board policies and administrative procedures to become in alignment with the CCLC, so that whenever there are changes that come up that are legally required, this board can move quickly and revise those. Right now, because we have so many SRJC or Sonoma County Community College District specific policies, we're not able to be as responsive when there are new changes. You can also see, for example, BP 2735, this is board member travel. It's a legally required, and this is a new policy, meaning we do not have one currently, but is one that is legally required. So in all of these are here for a first reading overview. They have gone through the process of your of review, right, through the committee. So this is just providing that element. This next slide is the administrative procedure. So this is an information only item. This is where through College Council, all of our board policies get revised and reviewed through College Council. Administrative procedure just provides, is when I provide an update on and inform where we're changing. So again, same here from AP 2105 down to 5300, note on the right, letting you know whether it's something that's legally required. In many cases, we have very new procedures, meaning we did not have them in place. So I want to note, for example, the district, we spent quite a bit of time on AP 3415, immigration enforcement activities. It is legally required. It's a new procedure. It was heavily vetted and informed and had a lot of input. And we also had some multiple trainings, undocu ally trainings throughout the district. So wanted to share that. Also wanted to share that, let's see, we have some in here that maybe they're not legally required, but we're trying to address guidance in terms of the kinds of engagements and behaviors we want to have amongst our colleagues here. And so we have that updated language. It lets you know where we are. And then lastly, for second reading, so this is on your action item, this is BP 2510, participation in local decision-making. This too went through College Council, and the revision here is addressing that we have added policies for faculty professional development activities. Added to the areas of Board of Trustees will rely primarily upon the advice or judgment of the Academic Senate. So again, we've gone through this in College Council, but this board needs to take action on this particular revision. I want to close with stating that you've already approved, we had some communications around some of the discrimination or code of conduct board policy. So I just want to remind this board that BP 3050, which is the district code of conduct, was already approved in November 2024. BP 3410 on non-discrimination, also approved November of 2024. And this board doesn't know it yet because College Council is meeting, but this week we have the administrative procedures, which outlines what employees should come to expect in these processes, employees and students. So AP 3410 is coming to College Council this week, as is AP 3435, which is discrimination and harassment complaints. I'm taking an extra notion here to share this because regarding those discrimination and harassment complaints and investigations, we've reviewed and refined that procedure process. And so I need to share here that we have purchased and expanded the use of Maxient, which is a reporting system. Before, there was a lot of back and forth emails filling out papers. Now it's truly streamlined in such a way so that we have secure and confidential reporting processes and case management. So I'm excited for the work that is ahead with that, and truly believe that the experiences of our colleagues will be significantly improved moving forward. So thank you very much. And that concludes this presentation.
Thank you. Do I have any board member comments? Trustee Battenfeld.
No, I just want to thank everybody who's working like it on this. As Trustee Fishman was saying, when we were at the CCLC conference, a lot of the issues that trustees are having, their students are having, our staff are having, a lot of them go back to policy. So although it may seem like dry and why are we spending so much time looking at this, I really appreciate especially the cabinet and Dr. Garcia and everybody on College Council who's going through these, because they really are important. If you have issues around like who gets to participate in meetings and how, I'm really glad we have that. One of the public comments was around immigration. We now have in our policies around immigration policies. So I just think they're really important, and I'm really, want to thank everybody who's working on them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? I will echo that, and then we'll move on to our consent agenda. That's items D1 through D17. Approval is D18. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda? All right. Any public comment on the consent agenda in the room or online? Seeing none. Student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The consent agenda is passed. Next, we are moving to the most action-packed part of our agenda, the action agenda, with E1, personnel actions. Do I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any board member comments or members of the public here or online wishing to comment? Seeing none. Student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. Next up, item E2, the March 15 through March 27, 2025 warrants. Do I have a motion and a second on this item?
Second.
Any board member comments or members of the public wishing to comment here or online? Seeing none, I believe Trustee Bailey is going to be abstaining from this. Trustee Spinozzi? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? All right. Next up, item E3, the March 28th, 2025 to April 18th, 2025 warrants. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
Any board members wishing to comment or members of the public? Seeing none, I will note that I believe trustees Battenfeld, Shaban, and Valdovinos are going to abstain from this one. Student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? I am abstaining.
I abstain.
All right. Next up, item E4, quarterly financial reports. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Any board members wishing to comment or members of the public here or online? Seeing none. Student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? No, the ayes have it. Next up, item E5, instructor load reports for spring 2025. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Any board member comments or public comments in the room or online? Seeing none, I believe trustee Battenfeld's going to abstain from this one. Student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Oppose or abstain?
Abstain.
All right. Next up, item E6, consideration to enter into employment agreements for unrepresented employees, academic administrators. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
All right. Paragraph 3 of subdivision C of Government Code Section 54953 requires that before taking final action, the Board of Trustees must orally report a summary of the recommendation regarding the salaries, salary schedules, or compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits of a local agency executives. Therefore, I am reporting the following summary regarding such items appearing on the agenda. 1. Bradford Davis, Dean, Career Education and Workforce Development at range 31, step E, with an annual salary of $208,116 from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, and health and welfare benefits granted to management employees. 2. Vanessa Luna, Dean, Instruction and Enrollment Management, Petaluma, at range 31, step E, with an annual salary of $208,116 from July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, with an 11-year longevity stipend and health and welfare benefits granted to management employees. 3, Matthew Markovich, Dean, Kinesiology, Athletics, and Dance / Athletic Director, at range 31, step E, with an annual salary of $208,116 from July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, and health and welfare benefits granted to management employees. 4, Dr. Mary Catherine Oxford, Dean, Learning Resources and Educational Technology, at range 31, step E, with annual salary of $208,116 from July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, with a 2% doctoral stipend and health and welfare benefits granted to management employees. 5, Stephen Potter, Associate Dean, Public Safety, Basic Academy, at range 28, step E, with an annual salary of $193,260 from July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, with a 16-year longevity stipend and health and welfare benefits granted to management employees. 6, Catherine Prince, Dean, Instruction and Strategic Program Development, at range 31, step E, with an annual salary of $208,116 from July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, with a 16-year longevity stipend and health and welfare benefits granted to management employees. Any members of the board or public wishing to comment? Seeing and hearing none. Student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. Next, items E7, second reading of board policy 2510, participation in local decision making. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Any board member comments or members of the public wishing to comment here or online? Seeing none. Student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. Next up, item E8, resolution 6-25, approval of the plan administrator for tax sheltered annuity plans. Do I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any board members wishing to comment or any public comment here in the room? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote. Kilani, please call the roll.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That measure carries. And last but not least, we have E9, consideration of the district's resolution number 6-25, declaring its intention to grant a perpetual non-exclusive easement to the Sonoma County Water Agency for public utility purposes. Do I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any board members wishing to comment or any members of the public? Seeing and hearing none, this also requires a roll call vote. Kilani, can you please call the roll?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. With that, the desk is clear. I really appreciate everyone sticking through this. Is a particularly robust crowd at the end of a semester, sticking it through the whole meeting. With that, this meeting is adjourned.